Now, Sonali from Momentum, speaking from Momentum. Are you there, Sonali?
Hello, Crispin. How are you? Happy New Year.
I'm good. Good to see you again. Now, a lot's happened since you last came on. A lot of I've been suspended. A lot of other people have had the gift of suspension or expulsion or termination or notice of investigation. What what what's Momentum's strategy for kind of making the Labour Party somehow more attractive and working for for us and not throwing us out, I suppose.
Well, on that specific issue, Momentum have had a legal team up and running for many months now, and we have successfully supported the reinstatement of hundreds of members who have been unjustly suspended or expelled. That will continue to happen in 2022. And I think that there might even be people on the call who've been reinstated because of our legal team, which is run by our staff and also some volunteers. In terms of the Labour Party, I mean, you hopefully know that we stood on a platform and a strategy last year before last of organising inside and outside of the Labour Party. A confident socialist movement is needed. It was what we were promised, but for many reasons was never delivered, and that has to happen regardless of the leadership of the Labour Party. So I've made a few notes. Yeah, I mean, I can see some, like, I come on, so thanks. I can send you our strategy, John, and also I'll tell you what we've been doing. So we'll be continuing to support local groups to plan another year's campaigning in their area. 2021 saw groups refounded across the country, plus new groups like Newcastle Momentum being established. Local groups have been resisting evictions, running trade unionist day schools, holding socialist film screenings, setting up food co-ops, as well as organising in their local LP structures, Labour Party structures. It's that granular organising that we need to expand on both building socialism on our doorstep, but also fighting this authoritarian government. We can't. I'm really, actually, really tired about some of the mudslinging that we receive. This is what it looks like. This is what resistance looks like. Okay, we can't build socialism without doing that granular work.
Can I just come in because I don't want this mudslinging, but I'm just thinking, can you just say to me if Momentum is going to? I mean, is there a so suppose someone's been expelled from the party, would Momentum want to be identified with that person? Because I get the feeling that sometimes that if you're pushed out of the party, you could kind of you could poison Momentum if Momentum's associated with someone who's been expelled, maybe unjustly.
We've supported hundreds of members and they've been reinstated to the party just over the past 8 to 9 months. Hundreds of members. I would like to know who else has been actively supporting members to be reinstated to the Labour Party when they've been unjustly suspended. That's what active solidarity looks like.
But so, for example, people like Jackie
Yes, we have
Walker.
supported members of JVL, actually. We have supported members of JVL who were unfairly, unjustly suspended and who have now been reinstated.
Right. Okay. Well, I'm not. I think that Momentum's not maybe saying that enough. I don't know. Maybe that's why people are saying all this stuff. Is that?
We'll also be launching a members' climate justice working group to help socialists understand and tackle the climate crisis. We'll be building and extending our racial justice programme, which has enabled Momentum to foster a really brilliant relationship with Migrants Organise, Solidarity Knows No Borders Coalition, and other grassroots organisations who are fighting for racial justice across the country, and will deepen those connections this year as we fight the Nationality and Borders Bill and the racist immigration regime. We'll also be continuing to expand our trade unionist network for rank and file socialists, to Skillshare network, and also to politically educate. We want every Momentum member to join a trade union, every Momentum member to become a confident and active trade unionist. And in the local and mayoral election, despite the war on socialists, it's important to know that good left candidates are still being selected and we have to support them. We've got people like Jamie Driscoll in North of Tyne, Paul Dennett in Salford as examples of left mayors who are pushing progressive socialist policies in their areas, and Momentum will still be mobilising our members to support them. In Preston and North Ayrshire, we have socialist councils who are supporting community wealth building. We've also endorsed Lewis Dagnall, a brilliant candidate for South Yorkshire Mayor, who's running on a socialist platform, and we'll be supporting his candidacy as well. So we're going to have to be very strategic about who we support in this coming year. But those socialists who are running and the existing socialists that we have do need to be defended. And so 2022 will be a year of resistance, but also outward-looking campaigning and organising, because if we get into a navel-gazing, inward-looking, self-reductive sort of mindset, socialism will wither and die in this country. So we have to continue to be confident and outward-looking. I just think it's like, do you find this acceptable, Crispin? The sort of do you find this acceptable? What is the treatment I'm being given on this show?
I'm not watching all the comments, but I think there's a frustration with the suspensions, the expulsions, and people just feel that they want to fight back, and they feel that that's
and
all
so
it is.
What does a fight back look like? Does a fight back look like giving literal, like, legal support and active solidarity by getting people reinstated in their hundreds? Is that what fight back looks like?
Well, I don't like anyone being personally attacked at all. Obviously,
We've
that's
got a
totally
Labour
wrong.
Party
But I do
conference.
think.
Can I also say, Crispin, I also want to say that Labour Party conference, Momentum, put all of our resources, so many of our resources, into defending the left from the electoral college system, the reintroduction of the electoral college system. And we fought that and we won. And that was for the movement. We are in service of the movement. That is what active solidarity looks like. We get on and do it. We don't have, like, you know, we're not going to have a big rally telling you stuff. It's a waste of time. We are doing the active, granular organising, and that's what we want our members to be doing as well. And that's what we're supporting our members to be doing, because that's what building socialism looks like.
Well, I don't want to keep, because we've got more to go, and I'm sorry you've had any trouble on here.
It's not surprising at all, because I think that you need to think about why this is acceptable, and you need to think about the sort of the discourse that's coming through.
Would you be up for speaking to Jackie Walker? She wants to speak to you.
She's welcome to speak to me anytime.
On here now, or?
Yeah, fine. Yeah.
Right. Well, she's just like, Jackie. Do you want to talk to Sonali?
I think the frustration people feel is that Momentum was initially extremely complicit with this witch hunt, and have done, you may have, I don't know, I've asked if anybody here has ever been helped by Momentum in this witch hunt. There's been nobody coming forward to say yes, but there may have been, I totally accept that. But for example, on the World Transformed, in this last conference, you would allow nobody on to speak about this. This is a critical issue on the left. And it's not that you've only said one thing in this way publicly, but you have said nothing in support. And you claim to be one of the most representative organizations on the left. And on the fight back, in terms of the witch hunt, you have been nowhere. And the frustration and anger that you see people feel, I think people are being really restrained, given the way that Momentum behaved in the last few years.
Jackie, do you understand that I was elected not last July, but the July before? That the regime you're talking about is the previous Momentum regime. Do you understand that?
Absolutely.
There's been a complete culture shift in Momentum. We've had on an insurgent platform. We were attacked vociferously by the people that you're talking about. We have been, and we have not, those attacks have not ended, but we have continued to get our heads down, to put our shoulder to the wheel, and to do the organising that needs to happen, including, as I've mentioned several times, active solidarity. Anyone who's faced unjust expulsion or suspension.
Solidarity.
If you're a member, you can contact us and we will offer any support that we can.
Sonali, let me come back. Active Solidarity is coming out and campaigning with JVL and other organisations publicly against the witch hunt. It's having people who have been witch hunted, I'm not claiming for me, on your platforms. And you have, not you, but Momentum have consistently, in the World Transformed, your key platform has resisted any comment on this. So I totally accept that you personally and your regime is not responsible for
People
this.
on our NCG have been suspended.
Right.
We have literally had national coordinating group members suspended.
As an organisation, you have a historical. John Landsman and the previous regime was absolutely key with what happened. And your organisation has a total responsibility to put their hands up and actually say something about this, because until you do, momentum will continue to get smaller and will disappear.
Do you want to, I'm going to, Sonali, please, do you want to come back in and then we'll move on? I just wanted to clear some, if in some way we can clear up what everyone's thinking and get rid of the tension. Is there anything you want to finish with?
There are literally members of our national coordinating group who've been suspended. We have been our own selves, we've been victims of the witch hunt. We have publicly and supported, we've been publicly and also behind the scenes supporting members. I think people here need to think about the international context. We are fighting the same system, the same ideological system that our brothers and sisters in Chile are fighting, that our brothers and sisters in Bangladesh are fighting, that our brothers and sisters in Bolivia are fighting. And if we cannot get out of this navel-gazing, reductive, slightly narcissistic idea that everything has to be about just talking about the Labour Party and fighting the right wing of the Labour Party, we will not be able to build socialism in our lifetime. This is not what building a socialist movement looks like. We will do the active solidarity, we'll never stop doing that, but we will not stop concentrating and focusing our energies on an outward-looking, confident socialist movement, because that is how we build change in our lifetime.
Well, thank you very much for coming on, and I'm sorry that you got some abuse, but we don't encourage that at all. I'm not going to bring anyone else in. I just wanted to clear that thing up at that time. So.